Good evening, good day. This is again your instructor for understanding the self, Kenneth Alvin Cinco. For this lesson, it is still part of unpacking the self on the second part of Module 3. Now, for this lesson, we will be talking about something that is very related to you as a student and also as a citizen of the modern age. For this lesson, we will be talking about the digital self. What do you think is the digital self? I'm sure that everybody of you um, knows or has an idea about the digital self. I know everybody is involved very much on social media today. You can't hide from my wisdom because I'm on social media too. So because of this, discussing about the digital self is very important for discovering about our place in the world right now. Because the digital self is something that um, a part of ourselves that reaches not just a territory, a country, but it is international. But how do we get there? Do we get international physically? No. We get there through internet and through the use of social media technologies. So, the digital self. For this lesson, we will try first to clarify about what is the meaning of online identity, what do we mean by impression management, and also self-presentation. After that, we will try to distinguish the true self from the false self. You'll ask me, sir, is there a true self? Is there a false self? We will discover that when we talk about online identity later on. And from that, we will try to point out rules about smart sharing online. Because when we share something online, it becomes part of our identity. When something or an information becomes part of our identity, it becomes something that many people will be looking at, will be negatively commenting on, or positively supporting. However, we don't know what they think unless they put a comment or they follow you online, right? So therefore, what to do is to have rules on smart sharing. Okay. Um, Today, everybody needs the internet for many purposes. People may use it for research, business, and communication. It also is a big help for everyone, both young and old. I know that you are always using the internet, especially that all the information in this world, well, maybe not all, but almost all of the information in this world can come from the internet. However, there are repercussions of using the internet. And, well, people assume many identities while in the cyberspace. Alam natin na merong maraming identities na pwede nating i-present sa internet bilang tayo. Tama? Hindi lang isang identity, hindi lang isang Kenneth Alvin Cinco or hindi lang isang Juan de la Cruz o Juana de la Riva ang pwedeng maging account mo sa Facebook. Tama, maraming pwedeng identidad na ilagay mo sa Facebook. At minsan, kahit isang tao lang ang taong ito sa Facebook o sa social media like Instagram and also some in YouTube, they can differ kung anong mga impormasyon ang iprepresenta mo sa mga identity ito. These identities are very different from the real identity. Minsan, pwede nating tanungin, totoo ba ang identities na ito? So, I know, like let's say for example, yung isang tao dyan o yung isang classmate nyo, maraming mga Facebook account. Hindi natin alam bakit marami siyang Facebook account. So, kung tatanungin natin, sino ba ang totoong, let's say for example, sabihin natin, sino ba ang totoong Maria dito? Sino bang totoong Grace dito? Kapag si Grace naman may isang account na Grace pero yung picture, siya at ang kanyang jowa, may Grace din yung picture, yung kanyang elementary days, may Grace, ang picture ay unidentified. So, Ibig sabihin, hindi ito ang mga totoong identity. Yung totoong identity, yung nasa real world pa rin. Pero, pwede ba nating sabihin na yung mga identity yun ay hindi na nag-i-exist? Nag-i-exist sila, pero hindi sila yung very world or real identities natin. Ito ay constructed identities. Meron tayong constructed identities. Kaya meron tayong tanong kapag ang pinag-uusapan ay cyberspace o yung espasyo na nasa internet na pwede nating pakisalamuhaan, no, with other people, lalo-lalo na sa social media. Ito yung first question. Who are we in cyberspace? You can pause this video and also try to think about that question. Now, kung ang sagot natin, marami tayong pwedeng maging sagot, pero kung ang sagot natin ay hindi direkta, alam natin hindi pa natin nalalaman talaga kung sino tayo sa cyberspace. O yung iba, may sagot, pero marami ang nuances, marami ang pagkakaiba-iba kasi marami silang inilagay na identity sa cyberspace. Yung isa friendly, yung isa para lamang sa family kasi 'di ba? Nagkabadong-kabado kapag nag-comment si Papa o si Uncle kasi panay ang bad words at bad words sa isang online account niya. Nandun yung mga matatanda. Right? So, hindi ibig sabihin, isa lang yung identity natin sa cyberspace. Are we the same person online and offline? Ay, sa tingin ko, hindi naman. No? Merong nagsasabing, yes. Meron din nagsasabing, it depends. Kasi, sabi nung it depends, merong mga tao talagang nagrepresent na kung ano yung nakikita sa online, yun talaga sila. Lalong-lalo na yung share ng share, no? Pero, yung isang argument ko dyan, hindi lahat ng impormasyon sinishare natin online. Tama? Ngayon, ano ba yung tinatawag na digital self? A digital self is generated through social media and online activities using content. So, anong mga content ito? What we post, such as social media, blog posts, and our music playlists, and associated metadata. Ano bang mga metadata? Ito yung where, when, and how we post as well as the frequency of our post. Ito yung mga nadje-generate, no? Nadje-generate sa social media na pinagpo-post natin. So kung anong pinopost natin, ito'y unti-unting nagkakaroon ng isang construction, no? Isang persona. 'Di ba? Kung post ka ng memes, syempre yung ibang taong nanonood sa mga post mo, magsasabing, ay, ano pala si Sir, o itong classmate ko, patawa pala ito. Or, yung ano mo, tawag nito, pag ikaw ay post ng mga religious, no? So, may ibang magsasabi, ay, ganun pala siya, hindi pala siya, mabait pala siya, no? So, minsan, yun yung nagiging perception, no? Perception ng tao sa iyo sa social media. Kaya nga, ang digital self ay isang persona. Ano bang isang persona? This is something or this is the identity that you use online. The word persona can be used in many different contexts. Pero sa ating leksyong ito, pwede nating gamitin yung persona bilang isang identity na ginagamit natin sa isang particular na context na dito sa ating discussion ay online, no? Some people maintain one or more online identities. So maraming persona, no, that are distinct from their real world self. Na maraming persona na sinusuot ang mga tao, no? The digital self is also an aspect of the self. Kahit sabihin natin hindi ito true self, ito'y parte pa rin ng self natin, no? Aspect. Isang aspeto ng ating identity. Pero ito yung aspetong pre-present natin online. Ngunit, unlike the true self which develops organically, yung true self kasi natin, itong nasa mundong itong katawang lupa natin dito sa real world, itong true self natin, organic ito na nabubuo na sa pakikipagsalamuhan natin sa environment. Ngunit ang ating digital self ay constructed, kagaya ng sinabi ko, no? Constructed. Bakit ito constructed? 'Di ba? Ang word na constructed, ibig sabihin, atin itong pinanday, atin itong binuo. No, hindi siya natural na parang tanim, na parang tayo na tumubo lamang mula kung saan man tayo tumubo. Tama? Tumubo tayo, nakisalamuhan natin, hindi naman natin plinano na ang makakasalamuhan natin, magiging mga kaibigan natin, lalong-lalo na nung mga elementary days natin ay mga tao sa middle class, or para naman sa iba doon sa squatter, or para naman sa iba doon sa elementary. Hindi naman natin plinano yun. Tama? So, organically, na-adapt natin yung mga personality nung mga taong nakasalamuhan natin o nung environment kung saan tayo tumubo. Ngunit, sa digital self at sa self natin sa internet, hindi ito yung organic. Ito'y constructed, ginawa, hinorma natin, plinano natin. Dapat ganito yung ipopost ko, dapat ganito lang ang ipapakita ko sa internet, dapat ganito lang ang malalaman ng aking mga magulang, dapat ganito ang pagtingin sa akin ng aking mga kaibigan, ganon, constructed siya. So in the real world, there is an array of information available that helps us understand situations, including people's actual messages and contextual cues, no? Pero doon sa internet, marami ang nawawala. Marami din ang meron sa internet pero wala din sa real world. Kagaya ng mga metadata natin, no? Yung mga frequency of post, nandun yon. Facial expressions, gestures, at vocal tones, ito yung parte ng ating identity sa real world. Pero sa digital self, seldom yan makikita. So in the online world, people generally have limited or fragmented information and sometimes lack the opportunity to conduct a reality check. Sa online world, hindi kagaya doon sa real world na diniscuss natin sa previous bullet, fragmented ang impormasyon, hindi buo. Ibig sabihin ng fragmented, hindi buo, kalat-kalat yung impormasyon. Kaya, kaya natin itong kontrolin. Yung fragmented na information natin, kasi hindi naman lahat ng panahon ay buo yung impormasyong pinopost natin. Kagaya kapag nagpo-post tayo ng mga pictures. Pictures lang, tama? Pwede naman yung i-post, no? Pero fragmented information siya kasi wala namang nakalagay, hindi naman sa lahat ng pagkakataon linalagay natin kung saan tayo pumunta, anong date yan, no? Minsan nag-post tayo 1 week after nung travel, ganon. So, fragmented yung information, hindi lahat nandyan. Pero sa real world, pwedeng mahanapan ka ng buong impormasyon. No? Undeniably, we are affected by the appraisals of others. Kaya, nagkakaroon tayo ng mga observers, no? Kasi merong mga curious sa atin whether these are obtained online or offline. Maraming appraisal, maraming nagbabantay, no? In the digital world, the deluge of negative comments that can appear in a person's face can be so overwhelming that it can cause distress. Ito pa yung isang importanteng dahilan kung bakit tayo nagdi-discuss ng digital self. In the digital world, marami ang negative comments na kung hindi natin alam paano kontrolin at paano i-approach, nakaka-overwhelm at pwedeng makapag-cause sa atin ng stress. Okay? So, ito yung mga nakakapag-cause sa atin ng stress. Ito yung mga modern terminologies na ginagamit natin upang i-describe ang pagsisirang puri ng iba sa atin. So, ito yon. So, minsan, hindi natin alam, trinotroll tayo, merong mga nag-stalk sa atin, pero yung mga terminologies na ito, they are modern terminologies na ginagamit natin upang makapag-damage ng isang tao sa online. So, ano ba yung trolling, no? Yung trolling ay carefully, this is something that is negative because it's almost akin to stalking somebody, no? So, sabi sa Oxford Dictionary, when you're a troll, no, you're carefully and systematically searching an area for something, no, a group of companies trolling for partnerships and opportunities. So kapag naman ang ating tatanungin ah ay yung online natin na identities, trolling is something na yung someone, it's when someone, no, trolling is when someone posts or comments online to deliberately upset each other, others. So it means that when someone posts or comments online to deliberately upset you, no, so according to esafety.gov.au, that is trolling. In short, trolling is when it can lead to a pile on when others join in an attack. 'Di ba? Noong panahon ng eleksyon, maraming trolls, no? So kapag yung isang kampo ay gumagawa ng isang magandang gawain, may isang magpo-post o magko-comment doon na nakakairita, no? At yang irita na yan ay nagpa-pile kasi marami ding nang-i-stalk, marami ding may mga kapareha ng ulo nung unang ng troll. Tapos nag-a-add hanggang sa marami na sila. So ano ba? Paano ba ito i-confront? Huwag nyong i-feed. Don't feed the trolls. Responding is likely to make things worse. Okay? Report the abuse instead. Okay? Ano naman yung tinatawag na cyberbullying? So when we talk about cyberbullying, it according to stopbullying.gov, so cyberbullying includes sending, posting, or sharing false or mean content about someone else. So kapag ang isang identity or ang isang entity dyan sa online ay nagsisend, nagpo-post, o nagsishare ng mga false information, false negative information, harmful information, o mean content, ibig sabihin yung hindi maayos na content, no, yung nakakasirang mga content about someone else, that is already cyberbullying. No, minsan pinicturan ka na ganito, ang pangit mo, tas linagyan doon ng ang pangit ng taong ito. Sinend sa GC, inedit, no, para kang unggoy. Isa yung cyberbullying. Okay? Ano naman yung tinatawag na bashing? By the way, when you encounter cyber bullying, no, report it to authorities. So when you say bashing naman sa number 3, it is violent, no, assault or severe criticism. No, it is severe criticism. Makapag-criticize sa iyo, no, talagang by detail yung pag-criticize, yan yung bashing, no. So paano yan? Huwag mo nang pansinin, o pwede mo ding i-post, no. Shaming naman in number 4, it brings its humiliation, no, attacking a person for him to feel ashamed, no. Online shaming naman is a form of public shaming. Yung papakaaluhan ka, no, public shaming, in which internet use can be a means to harass, mock, or bully, no. So shaming is public naman. Ito yung marami talagang involved na talaga, yung information sa iyo public, no. So yan ang ibig sabihin ng shaming. So itong mga ito ay isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit ilan lamang sa mga dahilan kung bakit natin dapat pag-aralan ang digital self, at dapat nating ma-dissect na yung identity natin online ay hindi ang buo nating identity. So at wag tayong tawag nito, papasubsob sa mga negativities na ito na pwedeng mag-cause sa atin ng distress. At kung meron mang mga nagpapatuloy sa pagsisira sa inyo online, either wag nyong pansinin or o kung nafe-feel nyo na napapublic shame na kayo at nasa cyberbully na kayo, better to report it to authorities. Marami ang pwedeng mag-take ng legal action dyan. Seryoso yan. So, itong mga bold behaviors are quite present in the digital world. Saan ba ito nanggaling? It may stem from a disembodied environment. Kasi hindi na ngayon kapareha ng una na kapag criticize mo ako, pwede kitang tawagin. Susuntukin na lang kita, di ba? Ngayon, pwede ka nang magtago online, maging isang keyboard warrior. So, isa na yon. So, our online identity has certainly evolved over time. No? Marami na tayong access sa maraming websites. Our digital self develops kasi na marami na tayong sources. Our digital self develops as wider connection is present, no, in the process. Now, we gain a great number of friends, followers, subscribers. We also gain a lot of trolls, right? So, however, these connections, alam nyo lang, ang gusto ko lang ma-establish din in terms of connections, friends sa in the world of online, nagiging significant others sila pero hindi sila kasing meaningful ng ating mga nagiging kaibigan sa real world, no? Interestingly, our digital self keeps strange friends and intimate strangers, no? Both offline and online people engage in self-presentation. Bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng mga kaibigan online na hindi naman ito real self? Meron kasi tayong self-presentation. At minsan, ang self-presentation na ito, hindi naman kinasisiyahan ng iba. So, ano ba ang tinatawag na self-presentation? So, it refers to the act, no, of creating a favorable impression. Ito yung pagbuo natin ng isang kaaya-ayang impresyon, no, o desired image to an external other and internal self o yung audience. So, ibig sabihin, yung online natin, yung offline at online, merong isang common. So, paano tayo magbuo ng personality? Ito'y tinatawag na self-presentation. Yung akto ng pagbuo ng isang kaaya-ayang impresyon, no? External man o internal. Now, meron ding tinatawag under self-presentation na selective self-presentation. Mas intense ito. Kasi sa internet ito, online users carefully decide what aspects of information about themselves they will share, no? Ito na yung ginagawa natin online. So kung real world at sa real world at sa dito sa world natin sa online, meron ding sa online selective self-presentation. Ibig sabihin yung i-present natin online ay sineselect natin, pinipili natin kung ano dapat. Thus, kaya, most social media accounts feature only the exciting and pleasant details in a person's life, like the places they travel. Maintindihan natin na kaaya-aya lang talaga yung pinopost natin sa social media. Minsan, nagpo-post tayo kapag nanghihingi tayo ng tulong, pero most of the time, kapag kaya natin at most of the time, mas pinipili nating yung kaaya-aya yung mga pinopost natin. Ngayon, pwede nating itanong, so, paano ba natin ma-describe at ano ba ang difference ng true at false self? No, unang-una, our feelings and desires represent the true self. Itong mga desires natin, yung mga feelings natin, yan talaga yung true self. Yung false self naman, isang side sa atin na chine-change natin yung behavior, rini-repress ang feeling and push needs aside to survive. So, oversharing, minsan lang, iwas tayo sa oversharing. Oversharing occurs when we share online more about our emotions, no? Kasi ito yung feelings natin, minsan nag-i-spill. Hindi natin naintindihan, kung hindi natin naintindihan na meron tayong true at false self, minsan nag-i-spill yung real self natin. Nag-overshare tayo sa online. Kaya dapat paghandaan natin na kontrolin ang ating mga sarili. With this, we find it hard to distinguish our public life from private life. Kaya masakit minsan ang pagiging isang online persona. Upang maiwasan natin ang harm ng oversharing, anong dapat gawin? Unang-una, avoid sharing information kapag tayo ay galit. Huwag mag-rant ng mag-rant. Kasi kapag nagra-rant, na share yung mga hindi dapat i-share. Yung mga data privacy na breach natin. Minsan, no, sa case ngayon, sa year na ito, 2024, December 7, last week, this previous week, na nagkaroon pa lang tayo ng isang napakalaking celebrity issue. Malaki siya kasi pinapalaki natin. Bakit? Yung issue ni Maris Racal at saka kay Jam Villanueva at itong si Anthony Jennings, no? So anong pinapakita nito? Di nag-overshare din si Jam Villanueva. Hindi ko alam kung oversharing o deliberate 'yon, pero yung nasa utak ko deliberate 'yun eh. So kung hindi naman deliberate, nag-overshare si Jam nung mga private convos. So harm 'yon kasi siya ay liable, no? Dalawa silang liable. Si Jennings pwedeng maging liable din at saka si Jam, no? Si Maris is a victim but she's also had her tawag nito, meron din siyang mga pagkukulang, no? So, be selective. Pangalawa, when sharing the same online and learn to differentiate your private life from public life. No, self-explanatory yan. Be reminded that social media, hindi mo buhay yan. You need not to prove yourself on social media. So, ano naman ang mga dapat nating dandaan sa smart sharing? Unang-una, limit what you share. Huwag share ng share. Kahit yung ulam ng kapitbahay nyo, wag nyo nang i-share kung masarap ba o hindi. Secure your passwords. Ito, number 1, para doon sa mga makikinig ng mga matatanda na. Alam kong marami sa inyo matatanda na hindi na alam, hindi na nakaka-remember ng mga passwords nyo. So, secure your passwords always. Kasi baka makuha yan ng iba, mahack yan ng iba. Number 3, identify and use safer sites. Huwag punta sa mga sites na merong mga unidentified na mga websites. Pag mag-click ka, baka ma-hack ka. Number 4, avoid embarrassing people online. Kung wala namang ginagawa sa'yo, huwag ka nang comment ng comment. Kung wala namang harm na ginagawa sa'yo, huwag nang sindihan pa ng ang apoy, no? Always remember that what you post online will remain forever even if you delete it. Ngayon, uso na yung tinatawag na resibo, kaya wag nang mag-attempt. Choose your online friends. Ito, wag accept ng accept sa Facebook. Hindi mo kilala yung mga yan, yung iba dyan. So, choose your online friends. Mas mabuting, sabihin mo muna na ganyan. O, sabihan mo muna, contact mo muna. Kilala ba kita? Where did we meet? Something like that. Be mindful and tell if you see bad online behavior. Huwag itago yung mga bad online behavior. Be mindful, no? Kailangan yung discernment natin matanglawin. Dapat critical tayong magbasa ng mga comment. Ano ba ito? Sarcastic comment ba ito? Minsan pa joke na comment ba ito? Kailangan ba itong sawsawan? Kailangan ba ng comment ko dito? Most of the time, we don't need to comment, we don't need to add, no? So don't mind, no? And most importantly, be patient, no? Be patient, magpagpasensya ka kapag nasa online ka. Wag lahat na lang ng issue umano ka, nakikisawsaw, no? Wag marites. So time for reflection. Ito, gusto kong magkaroon kayo ng at least 10 minutes na tawag dito, at least 10 minutes lang na reflection, no? Think about your digital footprint from the year 2015 up until now. Ano na ba yung naging online identity mo at ano ba yung pagtingin ng iba? At most importantly, i-review mo nga yung naging Facebook post mo. Kung isa kang tao labas sa iyong sarili, hindi ikaw, no? At nagbabasa ka ng mga naging Facebook post mo in the last 10 years, ano kayang masasabi mo? Ano kayang klaseng tao ka? No? Yan yung tinatawag na footprint. So many employers or hiring officers would now search for the applicant's online profile and internet activities to obtain a better picture of the applicant. Kaya ko sa inyo pinaiisip ito. Kasi baka meron ka na dong mga pinost na kung ano-ano, naku, yung mga employer ngayon, hindi na yan mga simple lang. Alam na din yan kung anong mga online identities natin. Kaya hindi ako nakikipag friends agad sa personal Facebook ko doon sa mga students at most especially sa aking mga bossing. No, kasi as much as possible, I want my Facebook to be free. No, a free person. I'm a citizen of the world. I'm not only constrained to be an employee. No, I'm also a citizen of the world. That's why I keep those that can access my account, no, to a minimum. So what traces of activities have you left in the digital environment? Have you built an identity or a profile that would be attractive to potential recruiters? No? Kapag ikaw naghahanap ng matatrabahuan, ask this question. So share your thoughts with your classmate. So, yes, you can write and explain at least 5 observations that your friends that your friends have on your Facebook post. You can list down 2 advantages and disadvantages of having an account on social media. Is your online identity similar to your true self? So, itong tatlong to ay isang activity natin, no? You can submit this or you can also just keep it to yourself. No, just alam naman natin na madali na lang ito sa iyo. You can make an explanation na at least 5 observations. Ano bang naging observation mo sa friends mo sa kanyang Facebook post. You can also list down advantages and disadvantages of having an account on social media. And your online identity is similar to your true self. So, it's just an activity but I know you can really explain. So, with that, you can take a selfie, post it on your Facebook account, and then you can answer many these processing questions below. This is for the activity na. So, how many likes did you get? What are the comments you receive? What did you feel when you're posting the selfie? You don't need to submit this. This is just an activity for you to realize your online identity at yung footprint natin online. So, with that, I know I will cater questions later on. And you can also approach me for the questions. For this lesson, I thank you for listening and have a great night.